So, the first question is, how do you get your news?
I get my news from Yahoo News, Al Jazeera, BBC.
LA Times, which I subscribe to daily.
TV, I guess.
If I'm being honest, I get a lot of my news from social media.
Through social media as well.
Also social media.
Social media is the number one source for me.
So what makes you stop and ask yourself, is this true or is this a reliable resource?
Usually, the only things that kind of set off that trigger for me are when they're really outlandish claims.
Sometimes when things seem just too unreal.
Exaggerated words like hyperboles and stuff they use, like violent or outrageous.
If something is like very, very direct cause and effect, that should turn on a red light, because things are generally more complex.
A lot of the news that you see on social media are very opinion news. It's just their opinion on what the facts could be or should be.
There's probably a real event, but usually it's so slanted that you can't.
You just don't know what perspective it's coming from.
It's always somebody else's perspective.
Being from this storytelling background, I definitely know how words can sway an audience a certain way and kind of mislead them.
If it's a topic that interests me, I'll read multiple news sources, and if it's factual, it should be carrying the same message across.
Sometimes when I see something like that's really interesting on TikTok, I'm like, oh, is that really happening? And I'll like go search it up and like look on other news sites, and I look at multiple just so I know, try and get it without bias, you know what I mean?
If something so big was to happen and it wasn't covered on different news outlets, no matter their political party, it probably didn't happen. And that's something that I do think about a lot.
We would see the evening news or the nightly news, but you guys see it instantaneously.
Just like that.
And I think that because it's happening so much quicker, I think that there's a lot more room for misinformation to spread.
Dialogue is what will help the older generation see things from the perspective of the younger generation and vice versa.
We can learn from each other.
Absolutely.
And respect the facts.
Yes.
I like that. And that's
yes.
exactly what Aretha Franklin said.
Exactly.
R-E-S-P-C-T.
You probably know about the .govs and the .orgs, but I can also share with you all the little tips and tricks that I've learned along the way too.
And if all that fails, we always have good old .bomb.
Always check your sources, basically.
Yes, be aware.
Yeah.
Fact check people.
That's right. And respect the story.
Great job, Mom.
Great job, Tara.